We got ourselves Team 1 with Broton. On that team, we got ourselves Graham. We got ourselves Christina as a Feral Kib as a Shadow Priest going first, by the looks of it. And Vargan chilling in the back, ready to go. Wee! Hey, guy, how's it going? On Team 1, Team 2, we got ourselves Big Boss Chick, Clickbutt. We got ourselves Deja as a Demon Warlock Shadow build. Blizz Buff as an Archamage. And Yandex's going to be first up. Kib and Yandex again, dude. Throwing the boy against the wall like that with that grip, man. Come on, dude. Big old grip onto Kib as the Army of the Dead surrounding him does not have Disperse anymore. He's got to trinket a Greater Fate out of that, just trying to be as careful as he can versus the Army of the Dead. That's going to be the army joining that Abomination. Actually still in the tough spot. Trying to shadow men through this damage. Does get him some PI as well as Vampiric Embrace. It's going to be AMS for a short moment for Yandex. Going to be big Shadow Crashes all over the place. Kib, I think, does get healing for it. Oh, he actually gets so much heals for it. Shadow Crashes do heal him with that, with the Vampiric Embrace. Siphoned has quite a bit of health now, so it's going to take a little bit longer to kill it. But it was doing a bit of damage and healing suppression for Yandex. Kib is going to get himself a little bit of VT's up and running. Does he still have full Void Eruption? Miss intro by Yandex. That's going to be a Mind Flay for free. Yandex just doesn't want to deal with it. I think Yandex's pet does not get the negatives of the what's it? Oh, Mind Games, by the way. So I think if Yandex gets hit with Mind Games, his pet doesn't heal Kib when he attacks Kib. So I wonder if that's how that plays out. It's going to be an intro for Yandex Kib under a little bit of pressure. I'm swapping the wrong person. Flash kept up. Okay, so Yandex is 5. Kib is 4. Okay, I could do that. Shadow Crush of the Yandex does have the stun to follow. Yandex has a lot of absorbs though. That Spell Warden, it seems to proc constantly. Siphon joins the fight. Yandex looking to kill it. It actually has taken a couple Globus to kill that Siphon. It took like 2 Death Coils and he's still channeling. 2 Death Coils and he's still channeling. That's actually so good. Kib trying to go for a bit of a Shadow Mend. No interrupts available for Yandex. Getting the Army of the Dead to join the fight. Kib gets the Spurs back up and running. The pet stun comes out, but Kib should be able to get the hell out of dodge. Those pets are going to still do a little bit of dim. And Kib does have defenses coming back very, very soon. Void Eruption is back up. If you could only just get Yandex in a situation where you can go for big Void Eruption, just lock him down, he'll be in a great spot. Interrupt missed by Yandex, trying to see if he might be able to maybe get a grip onto Kib. Trying to see if he might be able to doorway shadows out of there. That grip is going to grip him back in though. As soon as he gets close enough, yep, there it goes. Unless he got himself a shield from the Venthyr playstyle. Trinket out of Yandex, not really sure what he trinketed. Might have been a stun or something from Kib. Does lock Kib out on Shadow off of that Mind Games. That's going to be a big PI. Void Eruption coming down. All those Shadow Crushes are going to heal him every time they hit something, anything. I don't wonder if Yandex was able to avoid the bombardment. Going to be a Siphon onto Yandex. Shadow Crusher on the corner yet again. Yandex actually taking quite a bit of dim. Look at that Death Coil, dude. Not enough to kill 2 Death Coils. Clone Shadows. It was 2 Clone Shadows, 2 Death Coils, and his pet auto attacking to take out a Siphon. That thing has plenty of health now. Yandex recovering a ton of health out of nowhere as he dips low. I have no idea how he's recovering all that health, by the way. But he's still doing A-OK. He's still maintaining himself. Shadow Crash's AMS is still up for him. Does have a little bit of that absorb to deal with the shadow damage. But Kib so far has been in a decent back and forth with him. He isn't completely behind the Unholy DK. He's not completely ahead of the guy. But it's more of an even back and forth this time around. It only has 4k HP. But it's better than having 10. Because prior to this, it died in a global. Now, at least, it takes like an ability that does 4k worth of hit. I think it's hidden for nothing. Maybe. But he is trying to kill it. It probably would be still a better idea to avoid it. But at least, all I'm saying is an improvement for the Siphon. Because the current Siphon we have now, you can just accidentally sneeze in his direction and it disappears. You know what I mean? You can just not even mean to hit it. But just randomly drop a Death and Decay. Or just get a tick on it. And you're like, wait, was that a Siphon? I didn't even notice. It just came and went like a wind, dude. It's like a silent fart. Well, it's more like a silent fart now. It's more noticeable. You know what I mean? It's more impactful now. It does go down pretty quickly either way, but again, better than 10. 10% of priest max health is better than 10 health in general. Big slappy hand available for Yandex, looking to slap Kib around. Kib does have defenses back up, could be a disperse on him if he wanted to. Abomination does join the fight. So at least he's in an okay spot. There's going to be some grippy hand for Yandex for now. Grim getting gripped in. He's like, oh. But he was able to control himself. Didn't charge at the DK. Could have set him off, man. Never really know. Keep trying to get some dots. Does get interrupted on it. It's PI as well as full damage. Void Eruption. That's going to do a lot of damage to these pets. And a massive heal for Kim. Look at the healing he got with this Eruption. He just has himself Vampiric Embrace. Eruptions is single target damage. When you single target damage abilities hit something, it heals you. He actually just topped himself. That's actually awesome. That's actually awesome. I actually can't believe it. It's actually heals. Actually good heals. He does need to go. I don't know if he's running Megalomaniac though. He might not be running Megalomaniac. I think he swapped out Mego for a Psyfiend. He's probably running something else for the rest of his abilities. Yandex does have the constant Spell Warden, giving him massive shields, by the way, over and over. Flashcraft is up. Escape is able to get some dots on Yandex. Is not going to interrupt himself, Flashcraft. You're going to put some dots on him at least. Robotchan could just play. Would have never thought it would do. He would have thought he would never do 1v1. Yeah, Brotown, man. Hopefully he'll get a chance. Because these two have been going at each other for quite a while. Keep trying not to get interrupted. It's kind of lowish on health. That pet is actually doing quite a bit of work. Army of the Dead can still come in for Yandex. Kip does have Disperse. Will he be able to use it here? Try to go for Battle Master Trinket, I believe, to survive this. And I think it's a Battle Master Trinket together with Disperse getting used. Yandex does have the Army of the Dead, as well as the A-Bomb up very soon. As long as Kip doesn't get his PI as well as Vampire Brace, then Yandex can maybe do a lot of damage. However, I think he does have it kind of synced sort of well. PI is Vampire Brace with the rest of the pets. He's not in the worst spot at all, you know what I mean? But we'll see. Look at that Siphon. Again, that thing actually does have some health behind it. It doesn't die in a single auto. Mind Gives is up. Yandex is going to take a bit of damage. Slime Shield is up for him. Trying to go for a Shadow Crash. Yandex just trying to avoid him the best they can. Most likely trying to set up a big go. Or at least wait out for the Mind Games, then set up a big go. Dude, Spell Warden procs so much. He just has almost a limited amount of damage to deal with against the magic damage. Gonna be Shadow Crash, AMS coming in. Yandex most likely trying to get himself out, set up a big go. Mazba tried to set up for Kib. Does get yoinked back in. Gonna be A-Bomb joining the fight. Most likely Armor there joining the fight. And Kib trying to avoid this damage best possible. Does have Vampire Brace rolling. Not drawing PI yet. Gonna be big Shadow Crashes everywhere. Does that heal him for a ton? Trying to get some heals for himself right now. Looks like Shadow Crashes kind of avoided a lot of the dead undead pets. For majority part. So that's super unfortunate. Kib does go down as I think his Battle Master Trinket does run out as the Army of the Dead just continued to keep ramping the damage. Grim Grib blinking in on top of Yandex, hitting him with a Condemns immediately. Technically, Condemns are going to give Yandex Spell Warding. Every time Grim Grib gets Condemns, they are going to give him Spell Warden, or have a chance to give him Spell Warden. So at least he's not in the worst spot possible. And if Grim has any other kind of damage that is like proc magic effects, it actually will still do quite a bit. Blaze Storm up for Grim. Keep it up with Yandex. Does drop AMS. It's going to be no spell warding. Just, oh! Locking him out, I think, with a condemn. Not a condemn at the end. I think he can condemn through AMS. Plus buff is going to be up next as a mage. We are at the 8-minute duel. 20% dampening. I did like the Shadow Priest crash, by the way. It looked really, really cool. Really, really cool. Gonna be Grim versus Blizz Buff, playing out that Venthyr Arcane Mage instead of the Necrolord Mage. Canosphere getting set up. Does he have the big go here? Big go set up, barrage of Canosphere missiles to follow. Grim does go for a rallying cry to give himself a little bit of health to work with. That's gonna be a knockback with a Cotiran Haymaker. Does have Enraged Regeneration as well as Recklessness, so you might be able to use that Wreck in order to rampage or Rage and Blow towards Blizz Buff. Big Condemns coming out here. Actually could be in a bad spot. That Alter Time saved him. It's going to polymorph himself for a second. Nova onto the Warrior. Does not have Blaze Storm and looks like Buff is going to bow out of there. And Grim is number 2. Okay, so cool. We got Grim as number 2. We got Blizz Buff as number 4. So you can make that work. Going to be Invis real quick for Blizz Buff. Getting a poly onto Grim. 9 minutes in this duel. 26% dampener is going to get a touch of the Magi. Is he going to go for repoly? No repolys. Stormbolt onto Blizz Buff, chicken side of it, going for Arcana Sphere just to knock him back. Does get interrupted on Arcane, so quite a bit of his burst with that barrage is going to get cancelled out. Trying to make those Arcane Blasts work, reflected the Arcane Blast, but the missiles kept flying. Gonna be that root onto Grim. Grip can't go anywhere. Plus Buff, he has the line of sight. This would be the perfect time to do it. Grim, though, sacrificing his rage in order to get himself the full might of the Ignore Pain. I was about to say Second Wind. But that's not the right spell. That's far from it. That's a talent altogether. Not even the right spec. Buff, though, maintain himself quite a bit. Grim maintained himself also quite a bit. The 100% dampening, you are going to start seeing some healing reduction here. If Grim can get those rage and blows onto plus buff as he's trying to get any kind of heals off, then he is going to get ahead. Getting those condemns is going to be very, very important once he can bust out through the shield. Speaking about shields, Grim going for a port, not a Venti port, just to get himself the Draven shield. Sure, he gets out of the poly, does not knock out that spell out of Buff's hands. Polymorphing him back. That's going to be some alter time, some temporal maybe? I think that was maybe supposed to be a temporal just now, wasn't it? For plus buff. Still having a hard time with the warrior though. Blade Storm not slowing this guy down. Alter time available for plus buff is going to be able to port back. Stormbolt still flies at you. This Grim guy has been able to get such good Stormbolts. That's a condemn. That's a nice condemn charge to him. Grim most likely going to get knocked back. Not even knocked back. Does a reflect for buff. Hoping to maybe get him with a condemn. Does have those charge condemns though. It's like a victory rush-ish condemn. It's an auto that lets you charge. So he's playing Slaughterhouse, maybe the one where 2 Raging Blows gives you rage and health. And he's playing that, he has mobility for days. Big Storm Bolt, buff does have to Ice Block, Sharon throw up immediately. Does have a Nova for it. That's going to be invis with a blink, does get himself at least a bit of a defensive. Try to get whatever food he can. Grim mounting up, Nova wearing off. And Buff was able to recover just the hair bit of health, just the slightest bit of health. Nice, has a charge, but also has condemned to give himself a charge separately. Which is very, very interesting. Big Blaze Storm, I think it's over. Grim did a job. Taking him out. Boss Chick gonna be up next. Panda Rachel does Zerka Rage out of it. Not gonna be able to get a stun onto Grim. Trying to go for the Night Faces Fusion. Does go for the Fear. A 2-minute cooldown. Probably a 1.5 if you do have the Covenant Conduit. Does take him down. It's gonna be also Counter Strike Totem. Does get zapped out of the way. Boss Chick getting those chain lightnings, I think, off of a Stormkeeper proc. Is going to get himself the Night Face self-heal. Grim Grip actually popping a defensive here. Rage and Blows getting used. I mean, Rage Regeneration getting used. Probably saw the cooldowns out of Boss Chick, so he thought, you know what? I should use it. In case things turn around. I really should treat my enemy like a real threat. But he's not going to have those available for the next go. But then again, Boss Chick, you also have Click Butt, you have Daedra, so maybe he's thinking, you know what? I guess the Warlock, Demonology, I guess Demon Hunter, I might not need Rage Regeneration immediately. I might be okay. But he might need it 2 minutes after when the dampening gets really, really high, so we'll see. Storm Bolt and a Boss Chick, trying to make some damage happen. The Wolves are joining the fight and do disappear, like they join pretty quickly. Could it be a stun totem? Oh, on top of the pillar, no, on top of the boxes. I don't think the stun totem actually would connect. Big Blaze Storm, Grim Grip doesn't even bust out of the Blaze Storm to get himself a condemn. Clickbot or Daedra are going to be up next. Daedra still playing the Shadow build. Is it going to be first up? Looks like Clickbot is going to be first. As a Night Elf Demon Hunter. What on chance is this man's running? Stormbolt by Grim Grip, getting that big executes immediately. Into a stun by Clickbot, getting interrupted on the I-Beam. And actually going to be trinket out of the Fear as he's getting some damage to Grim. Is actually the one getting some damage to Grim. This is where Grim probably is like, you know what? I wish I had my cooldowns. I wish I had my CDs. Going to be a hunt out of Clickbot. Did he actually use the hunt or was that interrupted by something? I guess we'll find out soon enough. Has himself the Fell Charge. Talent, whatever you call it. The hunt, is he going to use now? Did he get interrupted again? Stormbolt? That's going to be a lockdown by Grim. Oh my god. Denied him the hunt. Oh my goodness. Danger is going to be up next, getting the Succubus to CC him off the bat. Can the Shadow build work for Warlocks? Is that a thing that works for PvP nowadays? Stun into a back-to-back stun with some Wildscript Bombers. Decimated Bolt getting reflected back at Daedra. Grim trying to see if he might be able to get himself some catch-up in health. Walls up for Daedra, getting Storm Bolted by Grim. He's in a situation where I don't think Grim wins this, but if somehow he comes back out of it, it's going to be a rough one. It's going to be a tough one. Does have the pit behind the pillar, so you can't lose Bloodthirst off of it. Not a lot of health to get out of it. 57% dampening. But this man is doing A-okay. Try to go for Door of Shadows. Got himself a bit of a shield. Going to be the Obelisk down. Could turn around and kill the Obelisk, actually. Might be worth it. As Daedra trying to see if he can walk him into the Fell Lord. And Grim just bails out of there, dude. He's like, you know what? I can either stay or I can get the hell out of Dodge. So I'm going to get the hell out of Dodge. That's a rough one. Grim might actually be able to recover. Because look at his Rage Regeneration. Look at his wreck. He actually might be able to come back. He's able to maintain himself. for a bit. He has a rage in order to get Ignore Pains off. That's going to be that lockdown with a Succubus C as the Stormbolt comes out. So for Daedra, at least he was able to deny any kind of burst damage out of Grim. Into Mortal Coil, still has plenty of opportunity to lock him down. He's going to go for that Decimating Bolt. The next Demon Bolt should do quite a bit of damage. You need to get the Demon Doggers in for it though. Just to get those Demon Doggers ASAP. He's going to get the Void Elf Racial set up. It's going to be in Regeneration as well as Wreck. It looks like he decided to turn it around, killing the pet. Going to be a Succubus resummoned as Daedra goes for a big old port. Tyrant getting used up. And Grim is going to be under a bit of pressure from the Tyrant, avoiding the stun by going for a Blaze Storm. Fear onto the Tyrant, so the pet can't even do the damage. Daedra under a bit of pressure himself. No wall available, but just condemns back to fourth. And does go down. Yo, Grim climbing out of that one. Oh, 5? Jesus. Yo, Grim. My man. Yo, I think this man is making Fury look insane, dude. Also feel squishy against Grim. Dude, how much versatility does he have? Like, at least 50%, right? At least like 50-60% Versa. This guy's just unstoppable. Oh my god. Crazy.